So this is a continuance of part 3. Yes, y'all, I had to finish another day again. I couldn't even finish later. I had to come back another day because I keep having so many problems. Like, when I tell y'all I keep having so many problems, it's ridiculous. Y'all might think I'm over exaggerating, but I'm not. Like, I just keep having so many problems, and I was almost done. Literally almost done. I was on the last point, so let's just jump straight back into it with the last point. I was saying that I'm gonna have to make this like a series because it's just so much to cover and it will be so long. But I wanted to end part 3 with a message to parents and children. So, parents first. It is not your fault. What happened to your child was not your fault. A lot of parents end up blaming themselves for protection purposes, and they feel, like some type of way because the average person does not speak up and speak on it. So a lot of parents feel like, oh wow, you couldn't come talk to me about this, whether their relationship is good or whether it is rocky, but they still beating themselves up. So no matter where your relationship with your child stands or where it stood, it's not your fault, and please don't take it personally from your child because they did not come to you and tell you. I don't care if your child ended up talking to other people first. Just be grateful. Be glad that they talked to somebody because it's a lot to hold in, and we all are going to go where we feel comfortable, and sometimes we just don't feel comfortable telling our parents everything. Everybody has been through that experience where they had something. Even you parents, everybody has been through an experience where they did not feel comfortable telling their parents. So we all go through that experience. You're going to have those moments in parenthood. Please do not beat yourself up about it. It's nothing personally with you. And if it is anything personally because your relationship is rocky or the child don't feel safe, then it is okay to acknowledge that, to notice it, and to take accountability and responsibility for whatever it is. Meaning whatever has made your relationship unhealthy, take responsibility for your actions and just grow and learn from it, mature from it, move forward from it, and do the things necessary to be able to strengthen your relationship and restore your relationship, to make your relationship healthy. Invite God into your relationship with your child. You may have been able to do things differently in your actions with the way that you spoke to your child about the situation or the way that you reacted or acted, but the situation itself, you could not have done anything differently. Whatever happened, and it was going to happen regardless. So you cannot hold on to that hurt. We're going back to unforgiveness. That goes for parents too. Okay? You cannot hold on to that hurt. You have to forgive yourself. You have to also forgive the abuser or anybody that was involved. You have to heal from that experience too, to be honest. You have to do the necessary things to, self-care and to balance things and make sure you are in the right place so you don't be holding on to anything that will put you and hold you in bondage. You don't want to hold on to any chains either. Just know that it is not your fault on what happened, and it doesn't make you a bad parent because it happened or because it was happening. Like, you didn't know. So please don't beat yourself up. And to any parent of an abuser, go to God. No, like, literally go to God. Commit yourself to Jesus if you have not done so already, because that is a difficult thing, just like finding out that your child was abused. I definitely, if I was a parent, I would not know how to feel to know that my child was out here doing these things to someone, hurting people in this way. It is very important to pray and cover your children no matter what stage they are in. It is very important to cover your children. If you find out that they are doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, it is very important to cover your child. And I know that a lot of parents want to defend their children no matter what, no matter how bad the situation is, but please do not. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to get to this, but we ain't going to get to it up in part 3. This is going to be a part of the little series, okay? But please do not cover up and hide your child's abusive behavior, because if you do that, they're just going to go out hurting people, and you don't know how bad that can get. You don't want other people experiencing hurt and pain. I mean, unless you don't have a heart. But please do not cover it up. Like, please don't be so quick to assume that it wasn't your child. Because I know a lot of parents be like, oh, I know my child. I know that they wouldn't do something like that. But no, you don't. If you do not know your child through the spirit, you do not know your child. So if anybody comes to you with anything that you don't want to hear about your child, please don't go off on that person. Please don't be disrespectful. Please don't make any assumptions until you pray first. Please pray. That's the number one thing. Pray. Don't just assume the worst. Don't just assume that someone is lying, but pray first, okay? Because you just never know. And if anything is going on, you want to get your child some help. So please just pray and get your child some help if they are in need of help, because you never know. It's a whole lot of parents that have been through situations where things have gotten really bad, and they have always said, oh, I never would have imagined that my child would do this. Exactly. Because you don't know what spirit someone is carrying unless you pray for them with and through the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. So you don't know. Like, people masquerade very well. We are all taught to hide things. So from a very early age, which is one reason why many people who experience traumatic situations end up being silent and staying quiet, because we are taught to hide it. And to the children, us, who have been abused and they have tried telling their parents, or their parents found out, whichever way it went, however it went, if your parents did not believe you, or if your parents did believe you, but they made it hard for you, because I have seen those situations and stories too, just know that I understand you. You are seen. You are loved. And some parents, I will not say all, but some parents do truly care about you. They just don't know how to accept and balance the trauma that you have dealt with. But for the children who experience no support from their parents, I'm sorry. But just know that it's okay to talk to someone that you are comfortable with, that you feel safe with, and that you know will support you and care and genuinely love you. It's okay. I'm sorry that you could not experience that from your parents, but to be honest, I will say that some parents are not meant to handle some of the things that you go through. So that is another thing that parents have to think about and consider, that it's not meant for you to be able to handle everything that your child goes through. That's why we have community. That is why we have Jesus, okay? That's why, we have connections, because God connects us to people who are able to relate to us and help us in the way that we need. And yes, you may be the parent, but you may not be able to help me in the way that I need. So children, please know that it is okay. Everybody will not be able to help you in the way that you need, including your parents. They will not be able to understand you in the way that you need, including your parents. So when you are experiencing rejection or judgment, or any type of negativity or no support from your parents, just remember that and just pray that God will send you someone who does understand you and your experience. If they cannot understand your experience, it is okay. Do not push them and try to force them to understand, because we can't make anyone understand anything. You can pray that God brings understanding to them, but if it never comes, if it never happens, then that's just that. We can't make anyone understand, especially if they are putting themselves in a position where they don't want to understand. So if that is you, I am sorry that you are experiencing that. I'm sorry that your parents may have failed you in that way. I'm sorry that you don't have the support you need, and that you most certainly probably want that from your parents. Trust me, I get it, because I felt that way. But one thing I learned as I matured in this experience, and that I remembered, is God is my parent. So, the earthly parents may not be doing the necessary things that they need to do, but my Father in heaven is, and he's always there. He will never leave me nor forsake me. He will never judge me. He is there, like I said before. Even when you are angry with him, he is there. When you don't want to talk to him, he is still there. He is always present. He is omnipresent. He will forever love you, care about you. He understands you. So if your parents cannot understand on earth, if your parents on earth, your earthly parents cannot understand, just know and remember that God does, okay? He understands, and he is your Father first. Okay, first. It's God over everybody, including your parents. So that's your parent. You got a parent. All right, you got a parent that understand. But trust me, I do know the hurtful feeling and the void that it can create to not have your parents in the way that you want to have them. That is actually a grieving moment that I realized later in time. So that is something that you have to, process, because you are grieving through it, not having the parents that you want to have, or them not being what you want them to be, or what you thought they would be, or what they should be. I understand that. So it's a process, and you have to pray for balance. You have to pray for peace, and to really see God as your parent in the moment where you feel like you don't have your parents or parents. So that is it for now. I believe I covered everything that I wanted to cover right now. I will, like I said, continue this. It will turn into a series on just lessons that I've learned, because I did not share everything, and just maybe other parts of sharing the experience, because it was a lot to cover, and this is actually a pretty hard time to cover it with other stuff that I have going on. Not because not healed from the experience, but I just have other stuff going on. So it was just, this has been an overwhelming time, and the enemy is trying my life. So listen, I'm gonna give it a break. We're gonna come back, but I really hope that this has touched you. I hope that it has touched somebody. I hope that it has helped you. I hope that it has brought understanding. I pray that it brings a closer connection and commitment to God, because that is ultimately what I want. I want you to know that you are not alone. I want you to know that you are loved. Someone does care. I care. I love you. And God does too. He loves you more. He cares about you more. And it is okay to take your time to heal. It is okay to take your time to open up about your experience. It's okay. You move in a pace that is comfortable to you. So that is it for now. Please do make sure to come back and see if I have posted any new videos, because I will be posting new videos, like I said.